FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. It's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Russell Wilson and the Washington football team taking on Trey Lance and the New Orleans Saints.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick in April's draft, the rookie from North Dakota State, Trey Lance.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A check on the numbers last week for Hubbard. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a 2nd down and 6. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. To throw, it's Lance. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Here's Lance. He'll dump this one off to Hubbard. And he's taken down inside the 30.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. On first down, Hubbard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
They'll run on first down. It's Hubbard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chuba Hubbard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by a 7-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his 10th NFL season now. That's Russell Wilson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the...
And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. And that one quickly went from a big play for the offense, I thought he may go the distance, to a big play for the defense.
And how about the emotions for the defense on that play? It broke big. It was going to be an absolute disaster for them, and it turns out they end up with the football. I don't know that they're exactly celebrating. Definitely plenty of relief, though.
On first down, Hubbard. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll run here with Hubbard. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. 46 yards on the ground for him so far. Now they're making a real first quarter statement. Sean Payton not liking that last call. He's going to go ahead and challenge it. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. They'll look to run with Hubbard, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chuba Hubbard with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Get a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give to Elliott. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down carry by Elliott. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
first and 10. It's Wilson. He'll find the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Smith. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On second and very short, Wilson. Open man left side, it's the tight end DeGuara.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Again, Madison. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Alexander Madison, his second touchdown on the season. And Washington has made this a one-score game. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Nick Folk for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
On second and 9, Lance completes it to Miller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. On the give, this is Hubbard. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From midfield, here's Lance. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Touchdown, Saints. Donovan Peoples-Jones. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Wilson. That one complete to Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Now Wilson on 1st down. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now Wilson. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Wilson will throw again. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 48. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
A final shot before half for Lance. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin out in Houston.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, again to Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
That boy showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Wilson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 63 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And now they'll throw with Lance. Finds the open target, Arnold. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And the Saints not only missing Drew Brees from last year, they also lost their top tight end, Jared Cook, to the Chargers. So tight end, it's a position in flux, but that's a nice grab there to pick up the first down.
To throw again on second down, Lance. Smith with a first down and more. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Second and 11. Right back to Hubbard. And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stopped him behind the line again. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Lance. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in, and it made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Hubbard. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Chuba Hubbard taking it in from a yard out. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll get this to Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Washington on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. 10th carry now for Elliott. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Uses the stiff arm. Fighting throw. Touchdown, Washington. Ezekiel Elliott. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Valentine to return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And I think it's safe to say we know who the game ball's probably going to after this one.
Without a doubt, they're going to stand up in the middle of the locker room.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, here's a run with Hubbard.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The Saints on 3rd down. They haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Lance. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Samuel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Wilson's throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. A dump off to Elliott. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington able to make this a close game again. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So the deficit now 3 after the huge conversion, but they need to get the football back.
So this is where special teams really comes into play, because getting the ball back, it starts with this next kickoff. How do they get downfield, either jar it loose or get the ball back themselves? That's going to be key for them.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
For the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hubbard. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game. And ball security has... I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Following the fumble recovery, Lance. This is Smith with a grab. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Hubbard. Oh, no, he lost the football. Could have been a... I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. On 2nd down, it's Hubbard. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Saints, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin.